Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Mo Blung. This is Planet Zoo, and we are in Pilarcitos Zoo and Gardens. We're looking at some of the new African expansion area here, and quite notably, this gorilla habitat from BZ14. He mentioned on Discord that he was in the mood to do a gorilla habitat, and I reached out and we kicked a couple ideas back and forward, and this is what he came up with, which is awesome. I love this. It fits in so well here. These fire hoses are just amazing. Blew me away. And there's so many little details that are super cool. Down to, check this out. Like, he's got the branch secured to the ground, so the gorilla can't build a ladder, presumably, and escape, or throw it through the glass window or something. I don't know. I mean, that's awesome. It's incredibly well thought out, and the climbing structures are on point, and there's just a grunge down here. It looks so good. Down to the concrete color, the selection for the concrete color. It looks old, and it's just all around really well done. So I went ahead and added a couple more viewpoints for this. So I didn't want it just to be viewed from one angle, one perspective, and something that I'm trying to do with a lot of my habitats is incorporate multiple perspectives into the habitat, while at the same time still affording the animals some privacy, so they don't get the sense that they're being watched from 360 degrees necessarily. I'm sure they still do, but yeah. And then in any case, BZ's working on a gorilla facility, like the back house, and I had the idea maybe we could have a view down into their indoor enclosure and small peek into the backstage. So I'm excited to see what he comes up with for that. So we can make our way down around here. This is my African Savannah exhibit over here, and this is based on the one at the San Francisco Zoo. It's very similar to this in a sense where it's got this viewing platform down here that views two different habitats. So if we go down in explore mode, you get a view over here of the kudu and the springbok, and then over on this side, we have giraffe, crowned crane, zebra, and ostrich. And giraffe house is up there, and zebra and ostrich house over here with the springbok and the kudu, the greater kudu. So yeah, anyway, again, we'll jump over here out of... again, trying to create a couple different viewpoints, and this being one of them. So you get a different perspective into the habitat from here, as well as this shelter, which you can see over there. We'll zoom over to that shelter. Oh, here's another little, almost like a view backstage, I guess. And these will get gates on them eventually that, you know, this isn't always necessarily open, but you can kind of see back here where they keep the ostriches and the other hoof stock. Here's the other view and perspective, and then from here the giraffes can't actually come past these logs, but the rest of the animals can, so the giraffes tend to stay up on that side. And then we can come up this path here, and we're at the giraffe house. This is kind of a glimpse into the care of the giraffes. This little fenced in area is where you would get to feed the giraffe from if they're doing that program that day. You would line up on this side and pay the keeper, and there would be another keeper in here and tray a cart of lettuce or something, and giraffes would be reaching over the fence and eating right out of your hand. And this is all directly based on San Francisco Zoo. I tried to copy it as closely as possible. It's supposed to be a replica of that facility, down to fire sprinkler riser details and whatnot. And then it does have an interior, or will have an interior. This is just started to get roughed in. Red concrete floor, just like San Francisco. And there's going to be a whole balcony and overlook up on the second floor. It's still got to get done. There's just so much to do. And so this little area leads down to the other side of the African savanna. There's a tunnel that takes you out onto that little observation deck. And this is just a really cool, really trying to use terrain and use elevation. And I like how this just winds, snakes you down in elevation. And then up here to Lemur Island. And you get to see the lemurs running around. And this is Beezy's climb-in structures again from his workshop. And come over to these decks. Got a couple more primate enclosures. I think this is the white-faced capuchin monkeys. I don't think I have anything in this one yet. I also forested them a bit thickly. I might have to thin them out a little bit and just add a couple more climbing structures and stuff. But again, all based on San Francisco Zoo. Signs by Lion. So that's mostly the African section. Oh, I have the meerkat and warthog over here. Here's a meerkat habitat. And then we've got warthogs over here. And this leads back down to the bottom of these stairs here. Trying to make sure everything is accessible as well. So if there are stairs that lead somewhere in this park, in this zoo, there is also a ramp that leads to that same location somehow. So trying to be conscientious of ADA requirements and other things like that. So yeah, I think we saw all this in the last episode. Everything that's new has mostly been out this way in Africa. And I'd like to add an Asian region as well as Australian. And so there's a lot of stuff to be done, a lot of work to do. Especially when we're adding ridiculous details like disconnects, electrical disconnects for HVAC and access hatches and roof vents and electrical conduit that sort of makes sense coming from the PV cells, PV arrays down to the disconnects to the electrical room, which would be on the other side of this wall. So look at these roof units here. Get fed out this box underground, back up the wall here, and then distributed to the roof units. So no, I did not put the piping underground. I thought about it, but I thought that was a step. Ridiculous. Automatic transfer switch, so when it loses power, generator kicks on. So tried to get the details, tried to capture the details. It's just if you go to that extent, it's a different game. And it takes on a whole new life of its own, because now you're just frantically trying to add a ridiculous amount of realism and step your game up next time. You know, I mean, this is the flow sensor and a bell, and it's hooked to the bell. So if the water starts flowing through the sprinkler system, the bell goes off. These valves sense flow, you know. Flow sensor on the water main, gas main, trying to up the level of detail. And I haven't even been able to finish the eaves and the gutters on this building. That's how long it takes, because inevitably you want to go off and work on something else and work on expanding and Oh, I'll come back and finish these details out later, but later has yet to come. Eventually. Eventually. I'm in no hurry. So, anyway, thanks for joining me and listening to my rambling. And I hope you enjoy the content. And I will try to make another video sooner than later. Try to keep the content. God, Christina, these are just amazing. These vehicles. And I've got this one here. I've got her excavator. Check this out. This is my excavator I did with base game art shapes versus Christina's excavator. I mean, one of them doesn't even look like it's... This thing looks like a joke. This looks like it's an in-game piece. Like, how in the hell? Are you kidding me? This is beautiful. And there's the forklift. The forklift's over here, isn't it? Yeah. Again, just looks like it's an in-game piece. Ridiculous. So anyway, I will leave you guys here. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.